All right, so the last thing that we need to do basically is the player controller. Okay, so to do that, I don't think I made. Yeah, we didn't make that yet. So what I'm gonna do is go to my sprites, and I don't like this way. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is basically make a new animation. So I'm going to create an empty, and we're gonna call this one player. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put a tag on this called player, which is good. And actually, yeah, I'm gonna go player, and then I'm gonna go to my prefabs here, and where I have this enemy here, I'm gonna drag this guy up. I am going to make sure that the this here has a tag on it, so I'm gonna add a tag to the enemy here, and we're gonna call it enemy. That way later on when I want to hit him, it will hit him. So I'll go back to this and make sure the tag says, where are you, enemy. Okay, so that's on the number 2 here. And I'll go to the top, and I'm just going to hit apply. That makes sure that the prefab also has that. Good. So I'm back on my player here. I'm just going to zero this out, 0, 0. Good. I'm going to add a component, and I don't remember what it's called, so it's a render, let's see, sprite renderer. And I'm gonna hit this little I'm gonna hit the little target next to the sprite, and I'm just gonna go ahead and choose Sugar Daddy Boil 01. Okay, and detail is gonna be foreground, and I'm gonna put on the most top, we'll say 2, so he's on top. And we're gonna add some more components, so I'm gonna clear out that. We're gonna physics 2D, and I'll do a box collider, and let's see what that looks like. Oops, let's see, I'm gonna middle mouse button, and that's a little bit big, so I'm actually going to edit the collider, and I'm going to click and drag this here. Let's try this again. Edit collider, drag, and boom, that was good. Click on edit collider, that's great. I'm going to add another component, physics 2D, and we're going to do a rigid body. Go ahead and click on is kinematic, and I am going to freeze the rotation so it doesn't accidentally spin. Okay. And that should be good as far as that is concerned. Now what we're going to do is work on the animations for that. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to create an animation. And we're going to go underneath animations, and we're going to call this one Daddy Boil. Actually, we'll say Player Boil. Player Boil. Actually, we'll say Player Idle. That's usually... Okay. We'll add a property, and I'm actually going to add a sprite renderer property, and I am going to just click to the next frame, and I just double click on the little gray area, and up here I'm just going to go to the next one, to 1, double click, and I'm going to go to the next one, which is 2, double click. All right, make sure you're on the frame there. We'll go to the next one, which is 3, double click. I'm going to go back to, come on, go back to 2, and then we'll click, and we'll go back to 1, and then obviously 5 would be 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that, and basically it will go back and forth. Okay, now what you're going to see is if I hit play, it goes way too fast, right? So that's no good, but that's fine. We'll do it now, actually. So I'm going to go Alt, and then you can see I have the player ride. I'm going to select it, and I want it to go like a lot slower. So I'm going to go 0.25, which is like a quarter of the speed. And then we'll hit play. And it looks fine. Okay, so it could be 0.5. If I want to go double speed, it'd be 2, things like that. All right, so I got one animation done. I'm going to go ahead and click on this and create a new clip. And we're going to say this underneath animations again. And this one's going to be player, shoot. I'm going to add a property, and again, this is going to be the sprite renderer. And I'm going to click on here, and I am going to go ahead and do Sugar Daddy Shoot. And I'm going to delete again this one here. Oops, come on. And those are the only 2 animations I have, which this is literally just him shooting, but it's fine. Good. And basically those are the 2 things I am going to need. So, that's fine and dandy. So right now, I basically have, if I go to my animator here, you'll see I have basically 2 things. I only have a player idle and a shoot. Now you may have more. In this case, we're having 2 to keep it simple. I'm going to right click and go make transition to here. I'm going to right click and go make transition to back. So basically what it's saying is that it can go, these are state machines. It can go from player idle to player shoot, from here to here. But what allows it to would be a parameter. So right now I don't have any parameters. I'm going to set up a parameter. I'm going to make it a Boolean, and I'm just going to call it shoot. All right. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, I'm going to go down here, and it's a condition. In order for it, I'm going to turn off exit time, which means it's just going to go right to it. And we're going to say, I'm going to click plus, and I'm going to say shoot. If shoot is true, it's going to go to this. Now what I'm going to do is select this one. Again, I'm going to turn off exit time. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say if shoot is false. So if he's not shooting, it's going to go back to idle. But if he is shooting, it's going to go to player shoot. Make sense? Okay, good. Back to scene here. I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and we will start working on that. Go back to project. So our animations are set up. And now what I'm going to do is go to script, and I am also, actually, let's do this first. Let's go to, where are you, sprites, and I'm going to bring up this guy here. I'm going to drop him in there, and I have this little, I'm going to go ahead and put him onto the foreground, and we'll put him on 2, as well as the guy. I should put him on 1, so he's just below my dude, but you can see he's underneath there. Okay, I'm going to make a script just for him that's basically going to make him shoot. I'm going to add a component, a physics 2D. Basically, what we are going to do is I'm going to do a physics 2D, and we're going to add a rigid body to it. It's kinematic, freeze the rotation, because I'm going to use this in order to propel it. And I'm also going to add another component, a physics 2D box collider, but I'm going to switch it to a trigger. Basically, I'm going to use that in order to sense if it hits something, and if it does, it'll kill it. So, now we're going to go to scripts. I'm going to do the sugar glider guy first, and we'll create, and we'll do JavaScript, and I'm just going to call it shot script. So basically for the shot. I have a shot script? Oh, that was for the other one. Oops. Okay, we'll call this shoot script. Great definition. Okay, shoot script, and I'm just going to go ahead and make sure it's on the sugar glider guy. Okay, and it is. So I'm going to double click and open it up. And here we go. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a variable that's going to hold the speed that it shoots. So it's going to be variable speed, and it's just going to be a float. And I'm going to do a variable to hold the rigid body that I'm going to use in order to basically control the object itself. Okay. So first off, on start, I'm just going to go ahead and basically assign the rigid body. I'm going to use the get component dot rigid body 2D. Okay. So that I'm going to store the current rigid body onto this variable, and then on the update, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to on the rigid body add force, and it's going to be transform dot up times the speed, and that's basically going to allow it to shoot up. That's just going to make it move upwards times whatever the speed is. We're going to do another function, and it's going to be on trigger enter 2D, and that is going to be other, and it's going to be a collider 2D, and it is, if something enters it, it's going to say if the other thing dot tag, if the tag of the other thing is player, it's going to do this bit here, which in this case is going to be to destroy the other game object. Okay. Oops, we need to put this in there. And that looks pretty good. Oops, Control S and huzzah. So I'm just going to save that, go into here. Hopefully I don't get an error. I did. So on line 4, it says I'm missing a semicolon, and I am. Alright, back in here. And good. And we will back this thing up. I'm just going to hit play. And I think it's not going to work. So so I don't have anything for speed, so let's try 10, and I'll hit play, and again it didn't go. So I think I need to turn is kinematic off and take the gravity to 0. There he goes, and then you can see him going forward. I don't know if you can see it or not, but watch. Alright, yay. Okay. So that all looks pretty good. He gets shot forward, and it's super great. Yay. Alright. Does seem, there is one weird thing. Hang on a second. I think, so if other, it's not supposed to be player, it should be enemy. Because I don't know if you noticed that. It was, killing my guy. He was disappearing. That's why I was kind of weirded out. Now it shouldn't kill him. There he goes. Now he shoots out. Good. Alright, perfect. So that's all good. I'm happy with that. I'm going to save that again, and I'm going to go to my assets here. We're going to prefabs. I'm going to take this guy, drop him into the prefabs so that he's a prefab, and then we can just call him whatever we want. I'm going to make another script. Create JavaScript, and this will be the player controller script. Okay? And I'm going to make sure I'm going to give that a second to be created. I'm going to drop it onto my player. And then I'm going to open it up. And here we go. Okay, so some things I need to do on this one. I need to do a variable for speed and float. And I need to do a variable for the boundary. So basically this is going to determine what is within the range that it can be in. Okay. Do I need that? Hang on a second. Yeah, boundary. So that's gonna be the boundary. And then we will do a variable that's the shot, which is what it's going to shoot, which in this case is a game object. Game object. Make sure I put this little nugget in here, and a variable that's going to be how often it can, or actually, I'm sorry, where it's going to shoot, and that's going to be a transform. Okay, and we'll do another variable that is the fire rate, and that's how often it can shoot. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a function awake, which is kind of like start. Basically, awake happens before start. And in this one, I'm just going to take, I forgot to make a couple of variables. A variable anim, which is basically going to hold the animator. And we're going to do a variable next fire, which is going to be a float, not a bloat, a float. Okay. So I'm going to store in anim the, anim. I'm going to use the get component, and it's going to be an animator. Oh. Okay, boom, boom, and that's just basically going to store the animator into this. Let me just make sure this is all on the up and schnuff. Just not to know a valid type not found. Okay, we'll figure that out afterwards. Good. Okay, and good. So we have that. Actually, let me check something real quick. Yeah. Okay. So boom, 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 and I don't need a function start. I am going to use the update, and basically for, oh, we'll do it in the next video.